In the summer of 1943, Kansas City was ravaged by an unprecedented polio epidemic. As a response to the devastating outbreak, the dean of the University of Kansas School of Medicine recruited Mayo Clinic practitioner Ruth Monteith and tasked her with the creation of a physical therapy department at KU Hospital, then known as Bell Hospital.
Ms. Monteith recruited 4 University of Kansas sorority sisters to be the first class of physical therapists.
At first, the only space available for their classes was a shed. It had a blackboard, 4 chairs, and 2 makeshift desks.
The program was initially approved by the AMA Council on Medical Education in February 1945.
In the fall of 1946, the 4-year degree program started with 3 years on the Lawrence campus, taught by Miss Lillian Warner, followed by 1 year at the Medical Center.
In 1947, the program transitioned to a larger room for 12 students. While the new space was an improvement, it still left much to be desired.
It was a converted storage room and also contained the motors for the elevator, and motor noise frequently interrupted instructors.
During inclement weather, the students and faculty had to step over buckets and pans to catch the drips from the leaking ceiling.
Ms. Monteith's office was a discarded patient's nightstand in the corner of a tiny waiting room in the Department of Physical Medicine.
From 1949 to 1951, she would volunteer in the polio ward during the evenings.
Unfortunately, she contracted polio during the 1953 epidemic and would walk with a limp for the rest of her life.
During 1948, hospital director Dr. Rose and Ms. Monteith were abruptly told to suspend the program until construction of the new Sudler building was complete.
Ms. Monteith declared that tables and chairs would be set up in the hallway if necessary, and that there would be no stopping the PT program.
She was able to find an empty classroom on campus and move the program to temporary quarters.
By 1952, class size had increased to an average of 20 students, and again, the program found themselves in need of space.
In desperation, they were given a lean-to structure that had previously housed the mailroom. The rooms were insufferably hot in the summer and terribly cold in the winter.
On one particularly sweltering afternoon, Ms. Monteith persuaded someone to bring over 100 pounds of ice in wash tubs to try to cool the area sufficiently for class.
In 1964, the first site visits were made for an accreditation of physical therapy programs by the AMA. Immediately thereafter, the University of Kansas physical therapy program was awarded full accreditation.
By 1968, the class size for the BS program in PT increased to 30. In 1973, the 14-month certificate program was discontinued, and 2 full years of PT curriculum were provided at the Medical Center.
In 1972, after guiding the creation and growth of the program, Ms. Monteith retired. In her 32 years of instruction, 805 students had graduated from the program that she started.
And in her honor, the Ruth Monteith Outstanding Student Award is now bestowed annually to a graduating PT student.
In 1974, the School of Allied Health was established, and the Physical Therapy Department was moved from the School of Medicine to the new school under Dean Ronald Harper.
Dr. Marcia Melnick, Ph.D., was hired as the chair in 1981.
She ushered in a new era of physical therapy education with a strong emphasis on research. Dr. Melnick would serve as the chair of the department until 1989.
The Bachelor in Physical Therapy degree was changed to the Master of Science, and the first master's degrees were awarded in 1990.
In 1993, Chukuka Nvemeka, Ph.D., was appointed as chair of the department. Under his direction, the department gained its first top 25 national ranking by U.S. News and World Report. Since that time, the physical therapy program has consistently been ranked in the top 15 of public institutions in the U.S. During this time, the program moved to new quarters in Hinch Hall.
One night in the late 1990s, Hinch Hall was struck by lightning during a terrible storm, and the building was ravaged by fire.
The teaching lab was destroyed. The fire was so hot that it melted the wheelchairs and walkers to the floor. The lab should have been deemed a disaster area, but there was no place to move the program to, so the lab was roughly reconstructed.
Faculty and students did the best they could with a room that had to be mopped every time it rained or snowed because the post-fire roof leaked badly.
When Hinch Hall was demolished, the teaching labs were moved to the basement of Robinson Hall and later back to Sudler. In 2000, the program began working on the Clinical Doctorate Degree in Physical Therapy, the DPT.
In 2003, the first PhD student class entered the program aimed at training researchers specializing in rehabilitation research.
In 2005, Dr. Lisa Stenabittle was named chair of the KU Department of Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation Science. During her tenure, the PhD program flourished.
In 2006, a new post-professional DPT program was initiated and directed by Dr. Janice Loudon. Research laboratory space increased dramatically with the new Georgia Holland Research Laboratory and the KU Diabetes Research Laboratory located in the state-of-the-art Hemingway building.
Graduates of the program represented 9 different countries. Graduates would go on to take postdoctoral and faculty positions at Stanford, Johns Hopkins, the Chicago Rehabilitation Institute, Howard University, and Harvard.
Since the beginning, with 1 faculty member, the program is now home to 15 faculty and has a strong international reputation in the world of rehabilitation science.
The program typically ranks in the top 10 in U.S. News and World Report among public institutions.
In May of 2012, this program will graduate its 100th class of physical therapy students.